She smiled while destroying me. I didn't catch my girlfriend cheating through texts or photos. I heard it during a wedding speech. I learned the truth while everyone else was clapping. I was holding a champagne glass when my stomach dropped, and I remember thinking, this can't be about us. Her best friend was standing at the mic. White dress, shaky hands, happy tears. She was giving one of those emotional speeches people record forever. She laughed about college memories. She joked about bad exes. Then she said one sentence that split my life in half, but I didn't realize it yet. I should probably explain how we got there. I met Emily 3 years earlier at a coffee shop near my apartment. She spilled her drink on my jacket. I made a dumb joke about it being destiny. She laughed in that real way. Not polite, not forced. We talked for 2 hours. Missed work. Didn't even notice? She was warm, thoughtful. The kind of person who remembered small details and made you feel seen. By the third date, I stopped checking dating apps. By the third month, she had a toothbrush at my place. The relationship felt easy. No games. No drama. We cooked together. Watched trash TV. Argued about dumb stuff like what movie to watch. She met my friends. I met her parents. Her mom hugged me like she already approved. Everyone said we had good vibes. I believed it. Her best friend Lily was around a lot. They'd been friends since high school. Same jokes. Same energy. Lily was loud where Emily was calm. Blunt where Emily was careful. I trusted Lily because Emily trusted Lily. That felt automatic. Looking back, that was my first mistake. The first red flag didn't look red at all. It looked like distance. Emily started staying late at work. Marketing deadlines. Client dinners. I didn't question it. I was busy too. Life happens. Then came the phone stuff. Nothing obvious. Just subtle. She started turning her screen away. Taking calls in the other room. Smiling at texts she didn't explain. When I asked, she said I was overthinking. She said that gently. Like she cared about my mental health. I believed her. Because I wanted to. Lily started acting weird too. Not distant. Almost the opposite. She checked in on me more. Asked how I was doing. Asked if Emily and I were good. At the time, I thought she was just being supportive. Now I know guilt has a sound. The second red flag was a feeling. That quiet pressure in your chest. The one you ignore because there's no proof. Emily forgot our anniversary. She apologized. Cried. Said work had fried her brain. I comforted her. Somehow, I was the one saying sorry. Then Lily got engaged. Big engagement. Big ring. Big venue. Emily was maid of honor. Which meant planning. Late nights. Weekend meetings. I didn't mind. I was proud of her. The wedding was out of town. A nice resort. Everyone dressed up. Emily looked unreal that weekend. Like the girl I first met. We danced. We drank. We laughed. For a moment, everything felt normal again. The wedding reception was beautiful. Soft lights. Slow music. Then came the speeches. Lily went last. Everyone quieted down. She started with the usual stuff. How love finds you when you least expect it. How the groom changed her life. People laughed. People cried. Then she talked about loyalty. About honesty. She said she used to think love meant excitement. Sneaking around. Keeping secrets. My heart beat a little faster. I didn't know why. She said, and I'll never forget this. I learned the hard way that love built on lies hurts everyone. The room stayed quiet. Then she laughed nervously and said, especially when it's with someone else's boyfriend. People chuckled. Assumed it was a joke. Emily didn't laugh. She went still. Completely still. I looked at her face. Her smile was frozen. Her eyes were glassy. My chest tightened. Lily kept going. She talked about forgiveness. About choosing better. She said, I'm grateful I didn't lose my best friend over my worst mistake. She looked directly at Emily. And Emily nodded. That's when everything clicked. The late nights, the phone turning, the distance. My ears started ringing. I didn't hear the rest of the speech. The room felt fake. Like I was underwater. People clapped. Stood up. Emily leaned toward me and whispered, Are you okay? I couldn't answer. My hands were shaking. My mouth felt dry. I smiled back at her. Not because I was okay. Because I didn't want a scene. That's the thing no one talks about. Betrayal doesn't always explode. Sometimes it just sits there. Heavy. Quiet. We went back to the hotel room after. Emily talked like nothing happened. She said Lily was brave. She said the speech was emotional. I nodded. I didn't sleep that night. I stared at the ceiling, every memory replayed with a new filter, every late night, every excuse. In the morning, Emily kissed my cheek, said she loved me. I said it back, and hated myself for it. The drive home was silent. I didn't confront her right away. I needed the truth, not a lie shaped for comfort. A week later, Lily texted me. She asked if we could talk. I stared at the message for a long time. That's where I'll stop for now, because what she said next changed everything. Lily asked if we could talk. Just the two of us. No Emily. I knew what that meant. We met at a quiet bar near my place. Middle of the day. Too early for drinks, but we ordered them anyway. She looked nervous, hands shaking, eyes tired. She didn't ask how I was. She didn't small talk. She said my name and stopped, like she was deciding how much damage she could afford. I told her to just say it. She took a deep breath. Then another. She said, "I think you already know." I didn't respond. I just waited. She told me it started almost a year ago, at a work event. Too much alcohol, too many lines crossed. She said Emily came to her crying the next day, swore it was a mistake, swore it was over. I asked who it was. She hesitated. That hesitation hurt more than the answer. It was a guy from Emily's office. Someone I'd heard about. Someone, she said, was just a coworker. I laughed. Not because it was funny, because my body didn't know what else to do. Lily said Emily kept seeing him, on and off, whenever things felt boring or hard between us. She said Emily told herself it didn't count because she loved me. I felt something break inside my chest, not loudly, quietly. I asked Lily why she didn't tell me sooner. She looked down. She said she tried to convince Emily to come clean. She said Emily always promised she would, just not yet. Then Lily said the part that still keeps me up at night. She said she almost told me herself, but Emily begged her not to, cried, said it would destroy everything. So Lily stayed quiet, until her own guilt got too loud. That wedding speech wasn't an accident. It was her confession, hidden in plain sight. I sat there staring at my drink, the ice melting. I asked Lily one last question. Did Emily ever plan to stop? Lily didn't answer right away. Then she said, "I don't think so." That was it. No dramatic ending. No yelling. Just the truth landing where love used to live. I went home and sat on my couch. Emily wasn't there yet. I looked around the apartment. Our photos. Her shoes by the door. Everything felt borrowed. When Emily got home, she knew. She could see it on my face. She asked what was wrong. Her voice soft. Careful. I told her I talked to Lily. Her shoulders dropped, like she'd been holding that weight for months. She didn't deny it. That hurt more than denial would have. She said she was confused. She said she never meant to hurt me. She said she loved me. I asked if she loved him too. She didn't answer. That silence said everything. I packed a bag that night, not because I was strong, because staying felt impossible. As I stood at the door, she cried, asked me not to leave, said we could fix it. I believed her once. I couldn't do it again. I left without slamming the door, without saying something cruel, just quiet footsteps down the hall. The hardest part wasn't the cheating. It was realizing I wasn't crazy. I wasn't insecure. I was just being lied to. And the worst part was still coming, because leaving didn't end the story. It only changed who I was inside it. I thought leaving would bring relief. It didn't. It brought silence. The kind that rings in your ears. The kind that makes you replay everything at 3 a.m. I stayed at my brother's place at first. Crashed on his couch. Said I just needed space. I didn't tell him the full story. I wasn't ready to hear it out loud. Emily texted every day. Long messages. Apologies, wrapped in memories. She said she was starting therapy. She said she cut the guy off. She said she finally understood what she almost lost. I didn't respond. Not because I was cold, because I didn't trust my own emotions yet. Some days I missed her laugh. Other days I felt sick just thinking about her. Grief isn't clean. It comes in waves that don't ask permission. 2 weeks later, Lily reached out again. She asked how I was holding up. I told her the truth. I said I didn't know. She offered to meet. I almost said no, but part of me needed answers. The kind you don't get from apologies. We met for coffee this time. Bright place. To normal for a conversation like this. She told me Emily was spiraling. Not eating. Not sleeping. I felt bad. Then I hated myself for feeling bad. Lily said something that caught me off guard. She said, "I don't think Emily knows who she is without attention." That hit harder than I expected. She explained that Emily always needed someone. A boyfriend. A backup. A safety net. Lily said she didn't excuse what happened. She just finally understood it. I asked Lily why she was telling me this. She said because she was done protecting the wrong person. A few days later, Emily showed up at my work. No warning. I froze when I saw her. She looked smaller, like she'd aged months and weeks. She asked if we could talk. Just 5 minutes. Against my better judgment, I agreed. We walked outside. The air was cold. She said she hated herself for what she did. She said she took me for granted. She said the affair wasn't about love. It was about feeling wanted. That explanation didn't comfort me. It scared me, because it meant it could happen again. I asked her why she never told me. She said she was afraid I'd leave. I told her that by lying, she made sure I had too. She cried. I stayed calm. That scared her more than yelling would have. She asked if there was any chance, any at all. I told her I didn't know how to be with someone I couldn't trust. She nodded, like she already knew. As she walked away, I felt something strange. Not relief, not anger, clarity. But clarity doesn't stop the damage. A week later, I found out something else, something no one had told me yet. And when I learned it, I realized the betrayal went deeper than I thought. I found out by accident. Those are always the worst truths. I ran into one of Emily's coworkers at the gym, a guy I barely knew, someone I'd met once at a holiday party. We nodded. Awkward small talk. Then he said something he shouldn't have. He asked how Emily was doing after everything. I asked what he meant. His face changed. That instant regret. He said, "I thought you knew." That sentence followed me for days. I pushed him to explain. He didn't want to, but once the door opens, the truth walks in. He told me the affair wasn't a secret at work. Not really. People noticed them leaving together. Texting. Nonstop. Taking long lunches. He said some people thought Emily would leave me. That's when I felt stupid. Not betrayed. Stupid. Because while I was defending her to my friends, she was a rumor in her own office. I went home and sat on the floor. Didn't turn on the lights. I kept thinking about how public the lie was, how private my loyalty had been. That night, Emily called. I almost didn't answer. But I did. I asked her if her coworkers knew. There was a pause. Then she said, "Some of them." That pause told me everything. She said she was embarrassed. She said it wasn't serious. I asked her how long she planned to keep pretending. She didn't answer. I told her I ran into someone from her office. She got defensive. Said they exaggerated. Said people loved drama. That hurt in a new way. Even now, she was protecting the lie. I told her this wasn't about cheating anymore. It was about respect. You don't hide someone you respect. She started crying again. I didn't comfort her. Not out of cruelty. Out of self-preservation. After that call, something shifted. I stopped imagining us fixing things. Stopped replaying the good memories. I started seeing the pattern. The gaslighting. The half-truths. The way my feelings were always managed instead of honored. A week later, I moved my stuff out for real. Boxers. Closet. Emptied. Emily wasn't home. She said she couldn't watch. That felt like avoidance. Not mercy. As I carried the last box out, I realized something that hurt more than the cheating. She never fought for me when it mattered. Only when she was caught. That realization didn't make me angry. It made me tired. I thought that was the end. I was wrong. Because closure doesn't always come from the person who hurt you. Sometimes it comes from someone you never expected. I didn't expect to hear from Lily again. Not after everything. But a month later, she asked if we could talk one last time. I almost ignored it. Then I realized I wanted answers without emotional static. We met at a park near the river. Open space. Easy exits. She looked lighter. Like someone who finally told the truth and survived it. She didn't waste time. She said she owed me something. She told me Emily had confessed more after I left. Not to me. To her. The affair never really ended. It paused. Whenever Emily felt secure with me again. Then it restarted when things felt too calm. Lily said Emily admitted she liked having two versions of herself. The loyal girlfriend. And the desired secret. That sentence made my stomach turn. Lily said she tried to challenge her. Asked why she didn't just leave me. Emily's answer was simple. She said she didn't want to lose stability. That word followed me for days. Stability. That was me. Not love. Not choice. A safety net. Lily apologized again. Not the polite kind. The kind that costs you sleep. She said her wedding speech was selfish. She wanted relief. She wanted forgiveness. But she also wanted the truth to exist somewhere. I told her I wasn't angry at her anymore. That surprised us both, because anger takes energy. And I was done spending it on them. Before we left, Lily asked me something unexpected. She asked if I would have wanted to know earlier, even if it ended things sooner. I said yes, without hesitation. She nodded, like she needed to hear that. After that conversation, I blocked Emily everywhere, not to punish her, to protect the part of me that was finally healing. The silence felt different this time. Not empty. Clear. I started sleeping again, eating better. I stopped checking my phone. One night, I realized I hadn't thought about her all day. That's when I knew I was getting better. But healing has a weird sense of humor, because just when you think the story is over, life hands you one last question. And that question doesn't come from the past. It comes from the future. I met someone new 6 months later. Not intentionally. It just happened. Her name was Rachel. We met through mutual friends. Coffee turned into long walks. I told her my past early, not the dramatic details, just the truth. She listened without fixing me. That mattered. Things moved slow. On purpose. One night, she asked a simple question. Do you believe people can change? I didn't answer right away. Because I thought about Emily, about Lily, about myself. I realized something uncomfortable. Emily didn't cheat because she was evil. She cheated because she was afraid to be alone. And instead of facing that fear, she spread it around. I also realized I ignored my instincts because love felt safer than uncertainty. Rachel didn't push. She just waited. I told her I believe people can change, but only when they tell the truth before they're caught. She nodded. A week later, I heard through a friend that Emily was dating the coworker. Publicly. No secrets. That didn't hurt like I expected. It felt final, like a door closing without slamming. I don't hate her. I don't wish her pain. I just know I couldn't have saved her by staying. Some lessons only land when you lose the person who tried the hardest. Sometimes love isn't choosing someone. It's choosing yourself when they refuse to. So here's the question I still think about. If someone cheats, hides it, and only confesses when exposed, do they deserve another chance? Or does forgiveness without accountability just teach them they can do it again? What would you have done if you were me?